we're going to be using sunscreen instead of just sitting in front of your screen because your screen can give you sun cancer. And so we're going to be using. We're talking about an Alex Jones situation here that we're dealing with, and she's at the forefront of it, co-founding this. So Valkyrae has apparently, as of last week, found herself in the midst of what people are pretty much exclusively calling a pyramid scheme and a selling of snake oil. If you didn't hear about it last week, Valkyrae had announced that she is now a co-founder of a company named Reflect, which specializes in skincare, but primarily marketed towards people who sit in front of screens all day, because apparently blue light damages your skin and your body in ways that no one had ever known, because there was no studies on it that proved that it was actually true. But Twitter lost their minds. There was a lot of people on either side, but I figured we should take a look at it today and kind of break everything down in case you missed it, and why this is such a crazy phenomenon going on, and why this is inevitably going to tarnish your brand, most likely forever. All right, so this is the trailer for Reflect that Valkyrae had worked with them for their launch day, which I think is today or yesterday something. It's going to be an Ulta. However, this insane backlash, I don't know if it's actually going to change that date at all. I don't think it will, but it seems like people are pretty mad about the fact that she partnered with this company.
All right, guys, let me see your screen time stats. What's yours? Oh, what's mine? 8 hours? There's no way.
This is so corny and scripted, for one thing. Like, that was the first thing that caught me with it, is that I really didn't like the way that it was like a happy-go-lucky, you should buy our product because you're dying kind of thing. It just feels so forced.
I get it. I'm a full-time content creator. My career depends on being glued to a screen, but all that screen time started to take a toll on my body and my skin.
The problem with that is I think that that's not related to blue light. I think that the people who wanted her as the face of this brand convinced her it was blue light and showed her some studies that they had, which, by the way, we'll get into that, but they said that they have studies that they're not allowed to share, and they cannot confirm if they are peer-reviewed. So as we know now, currently there is studies on the market done by the company who's selling the product and say this is good, but we can't tell you why. So as of now, it's definitely not looking good for Reflect, but let's keep going.
So I did something about it, because we all know screens aren't going anywhere. Meet Reflect. It's the skincare collection that's for everyone who uses a screen.
Sorry to keep pausing it, but I wanted to say that a lot of people said this, and I agree, is that if they marketed it as a skincare line that Valkyrae really liked and used, there wasn't enough actual evidence to support the fact that this did happen and it was a problem. And I think that's what made people so mad, is because it's like selling snake oil without any sort of actual tangible way to prove that it works. As of now, we're just going off of what the company says, and they said that they did a good job.
It's designed to protect your skin against blue light, which is emitted from all digital screens. Yes, even the one you're using right now, sight. But over time, blue light can actually affect your skin as well.
From what I've gathered, that part is actually the biggest controversy, is that it's similar to other industries. We had a similar issue in the last industry I worked in, where there was a chemical that could negatively affect your body, so it was reported on as a negative effect of said product. However, the real case was that the exposure amount was so high to actually have any negative side effects from what you were being exposed to, that no one in the world would ever be exposed to the negative side effects. So in this case, from what I've read online, is this most people are saying it's about like 24 hours straight, 15 to 30 days straight. So every single hour of the day for like 2 weeks to a month to actually have any sort of negative impact on your skin, which is just not something that happens. Like, you're never in front of a screen for that long.
I worked with experts to figure out the best and safest ingredients for blue light protection, like BLPF, or blue light prevention factor. What the heck is BLPF? It's like SPF, but for the screen.
So that's the part that I feel like it's trademarked too, and all their studies are done by themselves, and they're not peer reviewing them. We're talking about a company who apparently is led by someone who's been in a multi-level marketing scheme as well. So this whole thing is definitely not ideal. The funniest part about this product is it almost makes it feel like you're supposed to wear it on your entire body and not just your face or anything that's exposed. Like, if you use a computer with your shirt off, are you supposed to just moisturize your soft nips with this shit?
Aura Reset Facial Gel Cleanser is the best. It completely resets my skin to clean and clear. I won't go into your screen without it.
Okay, so this is actually funny because I think that that would have been a perfect line to say if she didn't add the blue light part at the end. Like if this was just a moisturizer, holy, this thing would have sold so fast. I mean, her merch sold like a couple million in like a weekend or something shit like that. Like if she was just marketing this as a skincare that Valkyrae uses, it would have done way better. But the fact that they tried to make it a gimmick and sell it to people who understand that that's not how it works, it was a bad move.
Then I power up my skin's defense stats with the Screen Shield Defense Face Moisturizer. It's not greasy, and it really works to hydrate and brighten my skin. I use it with my cleanser every day for a little extra protection.
Protection from what? The small amount of blue, that's the problem we have here. The small amount of blue light emissions coming from your screen. So you're needing to moisturize and skin care up. Valkyrae has unfortunately girl bossed her way too close to the sun and is now dealing with blue light rays from the sun.
The Eye Revive Gel treatment is such a lifeline. It brings my eyes back to life.
I feel like that alone would have been the best thing because it's true, yeah, being up late and being in front of screens will kind of tire your eyes out. So if she sold an Eye Revive Gel treatment for the purpose of helping your eyes kind of get back to normal, that is a completely fine, I think, product to try to push out and sell. But the problem is that she's marketing this entire thing as a protection of blue light. Like we're going to be using sunscreen instead of just sitting in front of your screen because your screen can give you sun cancer. And so we're going to be using. We're talking about an Alex Jones situation here that we're dealing with, and she's at the forefront of it, co-founding this.
Life. The Resurrection Eye Mask is literally a lifesaver when I need to look awake fast. Thankfully, our lip guard protects against blue light.
What do you mean blue light affects lips too? What an easy way to sell every product. I feel like the most annoying part about this whole thing is that, like I've said multiple times, she could have just sold this and it would have sold amazingly. What is the point of having a gimmick behind it? Like this, she knows this would have sold miles and miles and miles. Like she wants to be at the forefront of an innovative technology that doesn't need to exist. Man, she could have made so much money doing this without having that blue light shit in it.
It gives me an instant boost of hydration.
This product wouldn't apply to a huge portion of the population that doesn't sit in the front of their screen all day. So this is only being marketed to those people. Again, it would have sold way better if marketed towards a wider audience of everyone who wants to look as objectively good as Valkyrae. A new kind of screen protection. Okay, and as you can expect, we're here on Valkyrae's Twitter. This had an insane backlash from just the gaming community in general, and even a lot of her friends who didn't believe in her and in her situation. And to be fair, we can see it actually gets a lot worse when we start looking at her other videos kind of covering what had happened, and it does get a little bit shaky. So first off, we can see that she has completely taken 100 Thieves and Reflect out of her bio. They were previously in her bio. She removed them. I'm assuming to avoid controversy and kind of linking back to them. Like 100 Thieves probably wants nothing to do with the fact that this exists, and she's also a co-owner of 100 Thieves. So on the original post, we can see here the comments. Not much research into this, but it takes about 40 J centimeters squared of blue light to affect skin, pigmentation, free radicals, which cause aging and wrinkles. This takes constantly looking at the screen for 15 to 30 days, same amount you'd get from just standing outside in the sun for 15 minutes. Does skin need to be protected from blue light pollution? Absolutely do not. So you see why this is a big problem and why this ended up being such an issue. And then you have people like Minx who are saying, Ray, I have not seen another person pull so many boss bitch moves. And so a lot of these people are supporting her as a entrepreneur, but disregarding the fact that this is actually an issue. And so we have Calculator, actually, Calc, saying whoever convinced you that this is a problem is a very good con man. All good, though, you're still a multi-quadrillionaire. Which is funny because he's actually a Fortnite player, and I would never have expected him to have such a big brain. But as you can see, all the comments are agreeing that this is the most sound take from anyone with an actual check mark next to their name on this Twitter post. But they keep on going. A lot of her friends agree. A lot of her friends disagree. That's the like kind of the pinnacle of this whole thing, was that it ended up being kind of controversial because even her best friends were like, what the fuck are you doing? This is weird. And one of them including Hassan. Now, I absolutely despise Hassan. I think he's the most annoying person on the planet. Disregard his content completely. I just don't like the way he talks. However, he also said that it's a scam, and she was pissed that he said that, because for whatever reason, she thinks that everyone should agree with Valkyrae because they're her friends. I mean, if I had friends, like Oh my God. I don't have friends. Maybe it's because I make videos like this. If I had friends like her, I would want them to tell me, hey, this is a bad look. You shouldn't do this. You should just take out the blue light part altogether and this thing will sell like hotcakes. No one would even question it. Maybe she didn't ask enough people beforehand because this was definitely not the right move to go on. Another thing though, Hassan did say, congrats, I used 3-in-1 body wash for everything, but this is gonna make me switch it up. And then we could find his clip on YouTube of what he actually thought of it.
Just says the scam is so embarrassing. 22 months. I haven't seen you behave like this. I have said literally, I think approximately 13 times in the past half hour that this blue light is bullshit. Okay.
And that's the most interesting part, was that he did openly come out on his stream and say that it is in fact a scam. However, he was super congratulatory towards her, which I understand what he was doing too. I actually completely get it. He was trying to put a public face to say, I'm proud of you for doing something big. And then when it comes to him, they're like, do you think it's a real product? And he's like, no, it doesn't work. It might as well be a scam. However, he's still trying to be supportive a little bit. Well, Valkyrae didn't exactly like that. She wanted everyone to kind of jump on her and support her regardless of how bad the decision is. I mean, Valkyrae does something super, super bad and she wants all of her friends to say, girl boss, and you're amazing, it's not that bad. No, I mean, her friends should call her out. Those are real friends. Okay, so this is a clip from Miskiv's stream where he calls Valkyrae and kind of convinces her to end the stream because she ended up going live during this to do like a 5 to 10 minute Q&A about everything and kind of clear up the air, but ended up going way longer and digging herself into the deepest hole possible, and everyone just kind of watched it burn.
Hassan, go fuck yourself, dude. I like G Fuel. You're a horrible human being. You did the right thing. But you don't have anyone around you that you can just chill with?
To explain kind of a little bit of context, he said, repeat after me, Hassan, you're a piece of shit, and she did.
So I want you to say right now, Hassan, I really do think you're a piece of shit.
Hassan, I really do think you're a piece of shit.
So we can now tell that Valkyrae definitely wanted her friends to support her rather than be honest with her, and do it on, like, in public too, so that people would get more credibility behind her. Which the problem here is that, yeah, her friends didn't have her back, some of them, but they also don't want to be caught up in a scheme that could be super negative. And I think the fact that Valkyrae wants her friends to be supportive, despite the fact that this is obviously a scam, is a huge problem, and in some ways kind of a negative impact on their friendship. So then kind of like the top of where this all landed was that Reflect now, they're basically going back over and trying to explain their findings. And if you look at their website, nothing's really available currently. I don't think they're actually selling anything. Maybe they did as of today, but it looks like they're still not. They have really nothing on here. Blue Light 101, they have some information here, as well as some links to different health studies. However, what it seems like is they were unable to, so this information on this page is from third parties, and Reflect did not commission the studies, does not endorse the conclusions reached by the third parties, but provides the excerpts from the informational purposes only. So as of now, we have no real information. They basically crashed and burned their biggest drop. I mean, you can see here, so you're just going to double down and pretend you're not paddling snake oil, bold move. I mean, this is on their Twitter account, right? The big thing here is that if the blue light was not the main focus of this product, if it was really just about skincare by Valkyrae, and this is the stuff that she likes to use, and this is why, and this is how it hydrates me, and this is what it does, and boom, massive millions of dollars of sales. But instead, we marketed it toward a group of people who are notoriously hateful of things that are fake. I mean, gamers, people in front of computers, IT people, they're not going to stand here and let you convince them that something's the way it is when you've done none of the research, and all of the research itself was done by your own company. I mean, that's like saying the CIA did an investigation of the CIA and found the CIA not guilty. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to believe them? But anyways, this is a little bit different of a type of video than I normally do. If you enjoyed it, like the video. If you dislike, tell me why down below, or hit the dislike button. You gotta give me some here. But let me know what your thoughts are down below and how you feel about this whole scenario. Personally, I think that she should have avoided the blue light argument altogether. I think that if she did, this wouldn't have been any sort of issue. I don't think we would have even had this conversation right now. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if there's any updates later on, but I appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.